You will buy in India, in the city of Delhi, we have almost nil cardiac transplant system. We had one case in Gangaram, we had one case in Army Hospital. What is the hitch? What the medical fraternity can do? What can we do to promote so-called cadaveric heart transplant in the country? Dr. Yugal Mishra is the Director, Department of Cardiovascular Surgery at Ascot Heart Institute and Research Center.
KK, let me go to dynamics of transplant in India. Actually, city of Delhi has taken a lead. You know, the first time in India, the active cardiac transplant program was started in the Institute of Medical Sciences. And then, continuously in the road, they did in the country. But since last 3 years, they haven't done one, except very recently they have done one. I visited KK, one of the leading transplant center, Harefield Hospital. This was 10-12 years back to watch the transplant. And the heart was supposed to come from Manchester to Harefield Hospital. And you know what was the time from Manchester to arrive in Harefield Hospital? 1 hour 35 minutes. The heart was explanted in the city of Manchester and came to the Harefield Hospital in 1 hour 35 minutes. This was that ischemia time. While they were taking out the heart in Manchester, they rang up to the Harefield, they started opening the chest. When the heart reached at the Heathrow, they put the patient on heart-lung machine. When heart reached in the Harefield Hospital, they examined that heart is okay, then they explanted. Now that quickness in India, why we are lacking? We don't have organized transplant system, we don't have coordinator authorized by the government. Government has laid down the transplant norms. In Ascot, several times there was inspection has been done, but they never talk what the government is providing. Next thing is that
My question is very simple. My question is that we have former ambassadors, we have former secretaries, Government of India. All of them are sitting. We have the former Hindustan Times editor UK sitting with us. We have former president of Indian Medical Association sitting with us. What can be done to promote? What is needed? What can be done to promote? Do we need a Singapore law? Something has to be done. The heart is, yes, I'll ask you Dr. Khan also. But what can be done? Something has to be done. People need it, people are not getting it, it's available. It's available. When the brain death is available, brain death donors are available. When the donors are available, what is the hitch? Why can't the law be changed?
This is not only the question of law. KK, you have to talk more now. You are, of course, you are talking about smoking. You are talking about diabetes. What I am saying is that in society, we doctors has got commitment to educate the people. The people should ready to donate their relatives' heart. Number one. Number two, still, this is not a commercially viable option. So the corporates are little reluctant of this technology to go through in a big way. Mostly they are restricted to the government hospital. Few hospital has tried in Chennai, mostly in the Chennai and the one in Gangaram. But still we are too much, because this is not professionally very, economically viable option. But then most important thing, the people in the medical fraternity like you and rest of the people who are sitting here must start talking now about transplant. This is a viable option. Though there is a lot of effort on LVAD, and in USA and Western Europe, the heart transplant is declining because of non-availability. I was being told in Chennai, they have enough of the heart, but they are not able to put into a needy people. There is a lack of awareness in the society. Society must be educated, must be taught. Now we have to take as a fraternity to come out, like we are talking about anti-smoking, we are talking about the lifestyle disease. We start talking, Dr. Rana has put forth the kidney transplant which need, we must start now talking about, we have enough of the heart.
Dr. Rana, you have a successful liver transplant department. Vedanta, Dr. Vaid is there, they have successful liver transplant. Is the cost different between the liver transplant and heart transplant?
No, I will just say that, I will say as such organization, the first step was to create a law that you can take out organs, because that is very, very important. That has been created, so the door has been opened. Now we have got donors also, potential donors are there. But before we take out kidneys from, or say any organ from that donor, it is a public awareness. The second step was, most important step was public awareness. And unfortunately, neither the government nor the NGOs on top of all, above all, the press played a very negative role over the last 15 years. Rather than playing a positive role, they played a very, very negative role in promoting this kidney transplant program, and they have done nothing to promote the disease organ transplant program. So whether it is not question of heart, and the heart is different only in one way, that once somebody is not question of, as you rightly pointed out, if heart is available, then at present recipients are not available because whosoever living, he had to take risk, It's not like a kidney transplant, liver transplant, say like kidney transplant. If transplant failed, person still can live on dialysis. But somebody had to take decision, a living person had to take a decision regarding heart transplantation. Heart means yes or no. Either he will live now or he will die actually. So that is not a very easy affair. But of course that will be the next this thing, that you have to instill faith in the patient that there are good results. And there was one time when we had 6 deaths in succession as far as liver transplant program is concerned. But ultimately we have a very, very successful transplant program, and we become amongst the top in the Asia actually. And that happened in the learning phase. But otherwise no program is different, neither heart nor kidney. There is requirement for heart, there is requirement for kidney, there is requirement for liver transplant program. Every program is stuck up there only. Heart, of course, that is the biggest problem. Otherwise, heart means the survival rate is very good later on once it is done.
Thank you, Dr. Rana. My question is very simple before I hand it over for the next session. My question is very simple, is that lots of people are dying in India every day because of accidents where the brain is dead but the heart is alive. We call them as brain dead, heart living people. Their organs can save 50 lives. But the law is not allowing us to do that because we require a consent of the relations. Singapore has other way around. In Singapore, if a person is dead, his organs are donated unless the family says no. In India, you have to say yes. I just want a comment from our non-medical fraternity. Anybody wants to say something? Do you want to say something?
I mean, I do agree with you that Singapore has a law which is more in the nature of implicit consent. But given our society, where the family has lot more freedom to decide matters, where it has freedom to decide about where to live, how long to live even. In such a situation, I don't think we can have a law which would make it more or less compulsory unless said no. So I suppose in the Indian setting of and our concept of so-called democracy, it will be totally unacceptable.
Unacceptable at the moment. Anybody else got to add there?
I think if we look at the total number of deaths, it's estimated to be 1,20,000 per year.
Brain dead.
Road accidents. Only road accidents. And if I say we are going to harvest only 20% of them, we have to create capacity at the back end. Where are you going to, how are you going to...
Capacity will come. If there is a number, capacity will come.
To that. Society, as a society, I very well agree that we are a very different society. And look at the attitudes, the cultural beliefs. I think they are very different in India. It's going to be a tough journey.
So even if I don't talk about the heart, even the cornea is not being, even if you make cornea as compulsory, blindness will go away from the country. In our mythology, we talk about seva. And even if I make it compulsory for cornea, at least blindness from the country will go away. The corneal blindness will go away if we do that as a law.
Then you have this culture of rebirth, the soul going, and you have that tyranny and things like that.
The body doesn't, the soul is gone already. When you are donating.
Dissect the body, what will go up?
Is suggesting a differentiated approach. If we think that none of our cultural norms and traditions can be addressed for some change, then we will stay where we are. So I think there is something in this about the cornea transplants and some other types of donations which do not impinge seriously upon family values and rights. There may be something in this.
Legally.
There's actually a big debate going on this. It's a very debatable issue. Legally, as a lawyer, I would say yes, we must have a law or some kind of a law where this should be made compulsory as far as certain parts, as cornea is said, as liver and kidney transplants are concerned. But there is no law at the moment. There is a draft bill which is pending with the ministry. They are mulling over it. But I think unless civil society or people who are actually affected make noise about it or come forward and express the urgency and the need for it, I don't think the government is going to actually put forth something. And also the medical council, I believe, is divided on this approach as to whether there should be a law or not. So I think actually the medical fraternity must take a firm step forward.
I don't think so. Medical Council has ever.
They have. I mean, this is what my information is.
I don't think medical council has taken any official stand either.
Dr. Sanjeev is the past president of Indian Medical Association.
The fact does remain, I really strongly believe that this is an issue which has a lot of social and legal implications. And I think it will probably have to be the social society or the government will have to take a stand. As far as the medical council or the medical fraternity is concerned, I think it's more of trying to look at it from the medical or medical ethical angle.
Thank you.